from the marl, of course.
Yes, from the marl.
Other people make them, but who would want them?
Nobody else makes this in the world.
I'm not saying that because I'm
So right now it's just the
being
sugar
paid
on
to say
there.
that. Another soap pad on the top. Very important. Don't try it. Well, you go ahead, actually, if you want to. Try it with just one soap pad. You will see it come out much better with two soap pads. You need to have one on top.
12
One on
minutes.
top and one on bottom.
About 1 minute in the oven.
12 minutes.
12? 12 minutes, because it's really
Yeah, it's like
low oven.
12 minutes. Yes, powerful oven.
It's really what?
That's because the soup pad is very powerful.
It only
From
takes
the mouth.
it takes 12 minutes. What temperature are you doing it at?
330?
330?
Yes, 330.
So 330, and it will come out sort of this interesting melted situation that the possibilities are sort of endless with after that. If you let it cool between the sill pads and pull it off, you let it cool completely, you'll have something like this. Sort of a lot of variation of bubbles. If you let it, if you pull it before it cools all the way, you come out with some other interesting looks and techniques possibly. Certainly you don't have to put all of one color down. You can do multiple colors. You can have it mostly clear with just a little bit of color in one area. The possibilities are up to you. We say that all the time here at Pregel. Your passion, our ingredients, whatever your passion and creativity leads you to do it. This is a great little technique for some wonderful texture and height using magic sugar. So he cooked a little bit of it. He gave himself a sheet tray with crystal sugar on it. Could be granulated sugar too. He just takes his finger and makes a little trough. Or you could use a tool, I guess. You can even make a specific shape. You can make a circle, you can make a loop, whatever you want. And just pour right over the sugar and let it cool. If you wanted to have it have texture on one side and shiny on the front, just leave it uncovered. If you want to have the texture all the way around and cover it all the way up, it's a simple technique. It's like playing in a sandbox, right? That's really what pastry chefs do. We're just like mud pies, but different stuff.
Catch the fruit tarts and maybe learn
I don't really
something
recommend that you take a full-size propane torch and put it on your showpiece, but this is not Frederick's first rodeo. A little bit of heat on both sides. You don't want to just heat the Pregel logo. You want to heat both sides so that both have a little bit of a temperature. Not so hot that you have to hold it forever to stick, but essentially it's caramel, right? So if you heat it enough to stick, then the sugar just becomes its own glue. A great thing about this technique that's done in the granulated sugar on the sheet tray is it dries very quickly. You can get a lot of movement. Endless possibilities as far as shape and color go. And it doesn't require any special equipment. It's just made with things that you have laying around. Molds can be expensive. I think it's worthwhile to invest in a couple of particular molds that make sense for your business.
Speaking of that, can we not use some of our molds?
But this technique gives him some nice artistry, some nice movement in the piece, and it's very, very simple to achieve.
You need a good silicone mold, not a cheap plastic.
That turtle's too cute.
So again, if you just walked up and you're trying to figure out what in the world we're doing, we are showcasing Magic Sugar from Pregel America. Magic Sugar is Pregel's version of isomalt. So it's a finely granulated sugar substitute product. Was originally invented in a German lab for diabetics, but it's found a lot of usefulness and purpose in the pastry world, both for desserts and in particular for decoration. The reason why is because it resists water, very hydroscopic, so it kind of prevents the water absorption. Because if you try to make a showpiece like this with traditional sugar, it'd be very sticky, it might even melt or drip or break.
Most for a day when it's very sticky like today.
Yeah, it's quite humid today. You can feel it compared to yesterday. And then you don't have to worry about your showpiece so much. So we can see a little bit of the artistry that Frederick has created on the flat screen there. All made with isomalt. And now, right now in the oven, we have some isomalt that is melting between two sill pads. And when you bring it out of the oven and you take the sill pads off, If you don't put any color with it, this is what you're left with. And we call this bubble sugar because we're not very creative. We just call it what it looked like, right? That was actually Avon. Avon Nota.
Yeah, you can use a cream also to decorate your gelato cakes.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Another,
To
when you start thinking about the
decorate
idea
gelato.
that this sugar can resist humidity,
Oh, use it on yours.
now you get an interesting possibility for the gelato case. Because you can use this sugar in the gelato case for a nice color. You can even do blown or pulled sugar that can look like some of the fruits or flavors that are represented in the case, and it won't melt inside the case.